Hey, what's up, guys? It's Crypto for Freedom. I just wanted to do a quick YouTube video talking about Dogecoin, your favorite. All right. So, we're going to take a look at the bull runs. Dogecoin has had two bull runs here in 2017 and in 2021. And there's a couple things I wanted to point out about that. So, when Dogecoin peaked out, just under 2 cents here in December of 2017. It didn't actually close there; it just was the peak. So if you take a look at the closing basis, it closed actually more like down here, around like just under a penny. Okay, so now the next bull run, as soon as Dogecoin broke out of that closing basis, we were off to the new bull run. Okay. And that's what I'm kind of looking at now in this next bull run. All right. So, where did Dogecoin close in the 2021 bull run? Well, it peaked out at up here at 73 cents, but it didn't actually close up there. It closed over here, down here at like 35 cents. So what I'm thinking is, as soon as Dogecoin's able to break out above 35 cents, we had a false breakout over here, and then we got rejected. But as soon as we're able to break out above 35 cents, Dogecoin is going to be off to the races like the previous cycles. Now, I found something very interesting. If you measure from where Dogecoin broke out in March of 2017, past where it broke out of the previous all-time high close, past the peak, and to where the market actually bottomed, that's 1,918 days, okay? So in 1,918 days, Dogecoin broke out, had a peak, had a whole bear market, broke out, had another peak, and then reached a low. Okay? So, what I'm thinking here is we need a measure from, where we broke out, 1,918 days from where we broke out. We'll put these closing things back in here. Okay, so 1,918 days from when we broke out, went through a whole bear market, and then broke out from the previous close of the previous monthly close of the previous bull run. So hopefully this is getting across to you guys. It's a little scattered, but I'm trying to get a point across here. I actually recorded this video, but didn't have my setup right, so I couldn't actually get the background to capture. Okay, next thing we're going to look at. Where was this low? Okay. That low was at $0.05. Okay. So how much above the previous all-time high was this low? To me, it looks like about 200%. So if the low after the next peak is 200% above the last peak, that's going to put the low after the next peak around $2.27. Now, how high is Dogecoin going to have to go to have a low of $2.27? Well, let's take a look at that. Back in May of 2017, Dogecoin went up pretty substantially, 8,600% in that bull run. In this bull run, and actually if we measure how much the gain was past the previous all-time high close there too, we'll see that it went up a modest 1,100%. Okay. Now from the bottom over here, and we'll just do it from these closing bases. We won't do it from the bottom down here. We went up 32,000% past the last all-time highs close. It was actually only 8,000%. So where's Dogecoin going to be if we go 8,000% higher than the previous all-time high close? I'm not talking about the peak up here at 74 cents. I'm talking about where it closed here at this yellow line at 35 cents. If we went up 8,000% past 35 cents, Dogecoin's price would be around $26. Okay. And if we were going to have a 90% retracement from $26, that brings Dogecoin down to $2.37, which is 200% above the previous all-time high at $2.37. So I'm not saying Dogecoin's going to go up to $25 this cycle, but if it did, it would not surprise me. Now, what happens if we only went up 1,100%? Like I said, back here in 2017, once it broke out past the previous all-time high close, we went up 1,100% to the peak. Now, if we went up 1,100% once we crossed the previous all-time high close in this cycle, that would put Dogecoin at $4.20. Now, a 90% retracement from $4.20 would bring Dogecoin back all the way down to 42 cents at the low, which actually makes a whole lot of sense considering the fact that well, I guess I forgot what I was saying. But yeah, I guess it makes a lot of sense that we would come back down 90% because all the other previous bear markets, we've dropped by 90% or more, 92% in this bear market, and 94% in this bear market to the very bottom, 90% just to the closing basis. So if we were to drop 90% from $4.20, that would make perfect sense because then we would come back down, go up to 420, come back down, and find support at the bottom. Find support at the bottom of the next bear market around the top of the closing price of the previous bull run. Now, if you look at it, Dogecoin breaks out and it never comes back down to this level. See that? Here's a bear market. Once we broke out, we didn't come back down here. We stayed up here. Same here. Once we broke out, we didn't come back down here. We stayed up here. So does it really make sense to you guys that we would break out and come back down here? Like, it seems like we might actually break out and just not come back down here. Like, do a 90% retracement down to $2 from something way higher, and then we would find the bear market up here at $2. I mean, look, that's 200% above the previous bull market high, you know? Look at this, 200% above the previous bear market high, or bull market high. right there was the bottom of the next bear market. So does it really make sense for Dogecoin to only go up to $4 in this final blow off top phase of the market? I mean, that would still be a 1,700% gain, but would it really make sense for Dogecoin only to go to $4.20 for it to then come back down into this same range that we've been in for the last 4 years? To me, it doesn't. So there's a lot of evidence to me showing that we're actually getting ready to see a massive run for Dogecoin. Also considering the fact that if you look at Doge over Bitcoin, and it's actually 1 over Doge Bitcoin, you can see that 1 Bitcoin back in June of 2025, just 3 months ago, would cost you 600,000. See that over here? 600,000 Dogecoin for 1 Bitcoin back in June of 2025. 3 months later, it only cost you 438,000 Dogecoin for 1 Bitcoin. So Dogecoin's already gaining value on Bitcoin right now, as we head into this final parabolic stage of the cycle with altcoin season and whatnot. And that even lines up with the Bitcoin dominance having its final drop from 65% down here to 48% back to the top of this previous range, consolidation range for Bitcoin dominance. So everything's lining up. The bull run's going to be over, in my opinion, by the end of this year. I don't think we're going to see a super cycle. I think we're going to see a normal 4-year cycle. I think Bitcoin is going to go a lot higher than most people think, and it's going to catch a lot of people off guard and offsides. And then with that, we're going to see a true altcoin season. There's so much money sloshing around that, you got to make sure you're on the right side of this trade. Make sure you're dollar cost averaging into your positions. If I were you, I would stick with Bitcoin and Dogecoin, and make sure you have an emergency fund and an income coming in. That way you can protect your investments. And none of this is financial advice. And with this, I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.